Hey. Welcome back to another meeting of the Gold Key Adventurer Society. My name is Dan Leonard, and joining me this week in the studio is Jess Evans.
Hello.
Heather Straight.
Hiya, pals.
And Mr. Jeff Williams.
Hey, that's me.
It sure is. Our show, as always, is brought to you by Key to the World Travel. Key to the World Travel is a full-service travel agency specializing in theme parks, cruising, and destinations around the world. Head to www.keytotheworldtravel.com for more details and a no-obligation quote on the vacation of a lifetime. Well, it's the start of a new year, but I'm not making any resolutions. I'm planning a little further ahead than just 2022, and I want to hear what adventures y'all have in your theme park bucket lists. More on that later, but first, some travel news, starting with, looks like Disney World put the rat on standby.
Yes, the Remy's Ratatouille adventure at EPCOT is now being switched from the virtual queue to standby, as well as available for guests staying at Walt Disney World Resort hotels during the early morning entry half hour that they get. Yeah.
Early morning minutes.
Yeah.
I should call them morning minutes.
Oh,
I like it.
I'm wondering if this is gonna. I can't remember off the top of my head. Is Remy on the individual lightning lane currently?
It is now.
It is now that it switched over. Yeah, so that was probably the big impetus for that. But so
yeah, why do a virtual queue if you can sell someone access to it?
Yeah, if you can run fast enough in that 30 minutes that you have when it opens, or if you go in from
breaks down daily.
Every new Disney ride breaks down daily. For
but it has continued to do so in Paris too. Apparently, it's the same ride system as the Phantom Manor, and
it's the trackless ride systems. It's the problems they were having with Rise. It's trackless ride systems.
As we know from using normal Wi-Fi at home, sometimes it just poops the bed.
Well, plus if anything hits the floor, it's items getting dropped out of the cars, and then they have to reset because the cars don't know they're there.
At least it doesn't seem to be going down as much as Rise.
Yeah. The problem they were having with Rise is that when it goes down, they have to reboot the entire system. It's not like a standard old school ride that can just stop for a little while, get fixed, and then pick back up.
And so many moving parts in that thing.
Christmas week, that scene in Rise with Kylo Ren when he gets blown out near the end, he gets blown off the... Oh, sorry. It was broken. The animatronic was broken, so they had blocked that off, and there was a new thing on a screen.
Oh, they have a backup for
Dan,
it.
They have a
still
backup.
have not ridden this ride?
No, I still haven't ridden this ride.
My God.
Ugh.
It's always down every time I'm there, or I can't get into the virtual queue because the virtual queue system's broken. Or
No more virtual queue for it. Now
No
you
excuse
just
for that anymore.
now you could pay $10.
Get this man a VIP tour.
Yeah,
we're working on it.
or pay $10. Get it on for your individual lightning lane. You're ill.
Apparently it's been working pretty well. People are actually saving a lot of time on that one as opposed to
I haven't
some of the
looked
other
to
ones.
see yet what the standby line has done for Ratatouille. Have y'all looked?
No, but the Rise standby line during Christmas week, I never saw it go over. It was
6
usually
hours.
between 90 minutes and 120 minutes
That's reasonable.
during Christmas week. And we just used the lightning lane. And that was very fast.
La-dee-da.
Lightning-like even.
Lightning. It was lightning-y.
Living up to its name.
Yeah.
Heather has a report on something else that you experienced over your Christmas trip.
Yes, I finally got into Club Cool. Every time I've been back since it's been reopened, there's been a huge line.
Yeah.
And so my 15-year-old son loves Club Cool. And this kid won't eat anything, but he loves to try a weird soda. So he really wanted to go do it. I said, well, let's go look, but there's probably going to be a line. And there was not only no line, we were the only people in there, maybe one other group. It was completely empty.
At Christmas week.
At Christmas week, yeah.
Weird.
So they have, Beverly is still there, but they have 7 new flavors when they reopened. There's 7 all new things, and we tried all of them. And there's a new flavor to trick people into trying, in my opinion. We kind of like Beverly. I like the bitterness. I don't think it's gross. The one that we tried that all of us thought was disgusting was from China, and it's called Smart Sour Plum.
Is that the one that tastes like barbecue sauce?
It tastes like barbecue sauce. Yeah.
I've heard about this.
Oh, like a plum sauce.
Because it's a tea. It's a sparkling tea, kind of like a kombucha.
Yeah.
And it's disgusting. It tastes like someone took a bottle of not even good barbecue sauce and mixed it with carbonated water.
Like Winn-Dixie brand barbecue
Yes,
sauce.
it's nasty.
I like how you implied that it was a really good barbecue sauce.
Then
that
I would
might
drink
be all
it.
right.
Yeah.
Well, if it's got to taste like barbecue sauce, at least tastes like Stubbs or something.
Yep, there you go, right?
The description of it says that it's sweet, tart, and savory. Blech. It's gross. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
My new favorite came from Russia, and it's a Russian Sprite, and it's cucumber.
That's the one I want to try.
Really
That would be good with
delicious.
some gin in it.
Yes, I tasted that one and said this needs some Hendrix in it.
Let's
It'll
bring
be
some
delicious.
miniatures in there this week.
Oh, you're a
Yeah.
genius. That's
Sure,
happening.
that'll go well.
Hey, it's happening. There's a raspberry from Moldova, and it's a sparkling.
Are we just passing over? What the hell is Moldova?
I have no idea. I was hoping no
Everybody
one
was
would
silent.
notice. It's in Eastern Europe. That's all I
It's
know.
Eastern Europe. It's like there's a whole bunch of those M countries.
Is it one
that
of
where
the former
Borat's from?
Soviet bloc countries?
No, he's from Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan. Make
No, they're having
great-
issues right now.
Which is less funny than it used to be.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, especially this last month or so.
Ugh. This one was good. It tastes very much like fresh raspberries, and it's sparkly. It was pretty sweet though.
Are the floors sticky yet?
Not yet. It
Oh,
was
that's a
so
shame.
clean in there.
Maybe I'll hold off on going in there until they get
Yeah.
those floors nice and
It was-
filmy.
It has sticky floors and a bar mat smell. I don't want to
No,
go
it
back
didn't
in.
have that yet. It's much big, maybe a little bigger, not much bigger, but
The
it seemed
layout
bigger.
is not as conducive, I didn't think.
But it's brighter. There's a lot more windows in there. There's only one entrance, so the old Club Cool you could come in and
And
then
leave
go
out
out
the
the
back.
back.
Yeah.
You can't do that. There's only one entrance. Still all the Coca-Cola swag
I'm going to
and
sound
stuff.
like all of the Karens. To me, it just lost the magic. It looks like any other store. It just looks like an Apple store. Blah, blah, blah.
They don't have the little groupings of the soda fountains. They're all along the back wall. It felt less crowded to me because you didn't have everybody grouping up in packs around those.
I miss the magic of the columnar setup from before.
And as I said before, with their new renaming system for Epcot, why this place was not renamed as Libation?
Bro, yes.
I got concoction and libation. Come at me, Disney. I'll sell these to you. It's fine. You can have them.
There were a few really good ones. The barbecue sauce one was gross. There was one from the Dominican Republic called Country Club Merengue, and
Tastes like Sammy Sosa's sweat.
Isn't that a dance from Dirty Dancing?
No.
Country Club Merengue?
Sammy Sosa's jockstrap squeezins.
It tasted like cream, like an orange creamsicle. It wasn't bad, but it was sweet. But the really
yum.
another kind of gross one was from Madagascar, and it was called Bonbon Anglaise. And you know that artificial banana taste
Runts?
and
Like the
smell?
candy?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It smelled like that, and it tasted like that mixed with vanilla.
The
I didn't like
cunning
it.
runts.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
It's gross.
No.
And then, of course, Beverly is still there.
Do they still
was
have
great.
quat? That was my favorite.
No quats
So
anymore.
none of the original flavors are still there.
Except for Beverly.
Except for
That's
Beverly.
right. Yeah.
Why would they do that?
I don't know.
Sucks.
There
Like,
was
keep
a
some of the
Minute Maid lychee. It wasn't carbonated. It was just a kind of like a lychee lemonade.
Hmm.
It was good, but
Yeah.
it was super sweet.
Lychee's too sweet for me.
That's the problem with most of those ones that they had before was they were all too.
It was very sweet. Yeah. I guess
I know
they
that you
were
guys-
trying to get another thing not sweet, and that's why they went with that gross barbecue
Barbecue
sauce
sauce.
one. But definitely, that's the one that I think people should try to convince unsuspecting noobs try that one.
So if I can find a kid that I can pay $10 to try it, that would be the one.
Exactly.
Oh, this summer I'll have 4 children that I'll get a simultaneous reaction shot.
Yeah, get them to taste that and Beverly and see what happens.
Mix the two together.
Ugh.
I know that you guys were on the edge of your seats. Moldova. Yeah, that's the one. Is right in between Romania and Ukraine.
Ah, that's
Former
right.
Ah, of
Soviet-
course.
Right where I left it.
Ukraine, the Ukraine.
I remember it well from Hostel.
Surprisingly listens to the show. I can't trick her into trying the barbecue sauce, but I'll get the kids in the summer
Yes, definitely.
on that one.
We tried every single one of them. She should be a good sport and just give it a try. I got her to eat an olive at Christmas.
I mean, you've met your sister.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's
An
true.
olive, wow.
We're not an olive eating household. We don't
No,
have
I
adult
didn't realize
palates in our
this.
house.
Had you tried an olive before, Dan?
No.
Yeah, I didn't care for them.
That's my son's favorite snack. He like olives and salted meats. He eats like an old Jewish man.
salted meats.
He just-
He's a
Yeah, I
charcuterie
didn't
fan.
know they
He
both
is.
hated olives when I made this huge charcuterie spread that featured 3 different kinds of olives.
I like green olives mostly. I hate Kalamata olives. Everybody seems to love those.
I don't mind them, but I prefer a green olive. The 2-year-old made off with a gin-soaked olive. She didn't seem
Oh,
to
yeah, that
mind
was
that.
good.
That was
I
good.
haven't seen her since.
This episode of Olive Talk is brought to you by Keto.
Speaking of nasty artificial banana, it just has some weirdness coming out of you.
Banana.
Ah. Yeah, we have some interesting shenanigans happening at Universal Orlando Resort. Shrek 4D finally closed its doors on January 10th with its last show. We have no official word from Universal yet as to a replacement for the ride, but on the same day, they shared on their social feeds a video of an onion in front of the attraction that was then picked up and replaced by a banana. With the caption, "This post has many layers" or something like that. And then at about the same time, construction walls popped up around Shrek 4D that feature graffiti with and of the Minions. So it looks like we're getting a new Minions attraction right
Maybe
across
they'll
the
move
street.
the Minions
Right across the street
attraction
from the old
into
one,
that smaller
Yeah.
thing and then use that prime real estate for something else.
I don't know, because I mean to move that theater, I don't know, it wouldn't make any sense, and it's weird for them to double up on that. I know it's probably their most popular property with kids, but they've got so many other ones that they haven't done anything with, like Trolls and How to Train Your Dragon,
Secret Life of Pets.
yeah,
Come
They've got a
on.
ride ready to go for that over in Hollywood. So
Yeah, that's what replaced Shrek in Hollywood.
yeah, that's what everybody thought when they closed Shrek down. When they said it was done, they're like, oh great, we're gonna get Secret Life of Pets, but who knows now?
But no.
Well, the Minions sequel is finally supposed to be coming out this year.
God,
Yeah.
the first
And Kenjo-
Minions movie was terrible.
Oh, my son loves Minions, so they know where they're
I
They're-
like them in
getting their people from.
in the
Moderation?
Despicable Me movies. Yes, in moderation. But when it was the entire movie, I just ugh.
Kendra said that because we were discussing about this a little bit ago before we started recording, and she said she saw a rumor that it might be some sort of walkthrough attraction that's supposed to be like a museum.
Oh,
Yeah, but
where
the site
you
I
can
saw that
see the
rumor on, I
tech.
don't trust
yeah.
for.
That
So,
would be
is it one of
better
those sites?
than another virtual kind of attraction. I'd rather it be a dark ride or something like that.
It's
I mean,
just
it would be
not a
easy
big
for them to
space.
it would be easy for them to convert it to another theater show. The seating's all there and all that,
That's
but
what I assumed it would be.
yeah, but if then they're going to do another Minions theater show, which is basically what the
That doesn't make sense.
Despicable Me is now, because they've taken away the 3D function of it, so it's just a motion theater now.
And isn't the Shrek also a motion theater?
Technically, the chairs don't
okay.
move to give you like full motion like
Yeah,
the
I
Minions,
forgot
but
about
it
that.
has effects built into the seat.
Mhm.
So
It's like
I can't even remember. I went in once when, I don't know, I first started going to Universal and I thought, well, that's enough.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's bad.
What
I
was
didn't
the
want
reason
that.
for taking away the 3D? Was it making people sick?
They never
So
said,
sick.
because they never say anything like that. But I would
That's
assume
true.
it is probably because it ranked as extremely high on motion sickness for most people that didn't even
That's-
usually get motion
That's
sickness.
why they had to take the 3D out of their Forbidden
Hogwarts.
Journey in Hollywood.
Yeah.
that one was making people
That
really
ride
sick.
makes me sick already.
Yeah. And then you throw in 3D.
Jimmy Neutron, before it was also Jimmy Neutron and Minions made me super sick.
Oh, right. I forgot that's what was there.
Simpsons I can ride once, but I need to go be still after that.
Yeah,
like
me
go,
too.
Go
And
to Moe's and eat or something. I can't
Simpsons
ride anything
and
else
Forbidden
very soon.
Journey. Those are the only things that, and I never really get motion sick, but those two make me go,
I have to say, when I got
Thank
too
you.
fat to ride Forbidden Journey anymore, I wasn't that
You weren't sad?
disappointed. Sorry, guys, I can't fit in it.
can't do it.
Well, I don't get motion sick on anything at all. I love Forbidden Journey.
I hope you don't get it. That got worse for me the older I got.
I was
get
on
dizzy, but not
a
motion sick.
I was on a trip with a group of ladies, and one of them has been plagued her whole life with motion sickness, but is a huge Harry Potter fan. And we begged her not to get on Forbidden Journey. And she did. And
What are you talking about?
This was on a travel agent fam trip that I was on. I don't know her personally, but she had been bowing out of every ride they were taking us on because of her motion sickness, but really, really wanted to do the Harry Potter ones. And she didn't do well on Gringotts, but didn't throw up, but would not be talked out of getting on Forbidden Journey. And it was ugly. I was luckily a few, what are you? They're not really cars, whatever you call those things, down from her. And I heard what was happening.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was bad.
Protein spill.
All over the ride. She had to be carried off of the ride, and they
Expecto Patronum'd all over the place.
Yeah.
They
That's gotta be
came
pretty
and
violent, too, if you
took her
get carried
out
over
of
the
the
ride.
park in a wheelchair because they made her so sick. Yeah.
Her legs came off.
So don't ride Forbidden Journey if motion sickness is a problem for you. Don't do it.
Yeah.
When I could ride it, I had to be one and done.
Mm-hmm.
But Hagrid's, I'm down for that all day.
Oh, absolutely.
You don't have those screens. Face. And I have no transition into this next story because I can't think of one.
Well, at least you're
I've been
honest.
sitting here trying to think of a segue, and I've got none. I was, we've been thinking about, or we were talking about bucket list attractions, and this is a place that I was thinking about that's on my travel bucket list, but it doesn't fit into our main discussion because it's not a theme park. So I wanted to go ahead and tell you all about it now because it's pretty cool. Do any of you either see the series American Gods or read the
Yes,
novel by
both.
Neil Gaiman?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Both.
This location, the House on the Rock in Wisconsin, plays a pretty big role. I don't know about the show because I never watched that, but in the book, it's where kind of the climax of all the action happens.
Climax.
Yeah, I knew you'd like that word. So this is this great big house literally on the side of a cliff that some eccentric dude built a long time ago. And just like all good eccentric people, he had a bit of a collection. Some might say hobby, some might say problem. I
Oh,
don't know. The original house is 14 rooms, plus there's lots of gardens and stuff, but they've gone on to add several warehouses to hold this whole collection. So, for example, there's 269 carousel animals on various working carousels.
Some of them on the carousel are not animals, or at least completely.
Yeah, there's some.
You seen this one
possibilities.
picture of the horse legs with the fully naked lady top?
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
I, knew
like
that
it.
would be into
I would
that.
ride
I've
that
seen
one.
it, like-
I
was
clicked
like,
on the
no,
wrong
just-
photos and I'm looking at how to build a yurt. I don't know what happened. My
That is
apologies.
not bad photos
Build it
at all.
on a rock, and it tracks.
I mean,
Here we go.
equally interesting, but not the same. Yeah, there's just like lights, chandeliers all over the place, and there's like a huge collection of. We laughed at this band organs, which we laughed at when they talked about that at Walt Disney World. Those are those like self-playing, not just like an organ, but with different instruments attached to it. Also, various orchestra instruments.
if
Huge
my
collection
organ
of
could play with
those.
itself, I wouldn't have anything to do all day.
Yeah, well, maybe you get something else. Maybe you get something done. Get some real work done. Taxidermy monkeys and looks like, I don't know, is that a raccoon playing fiddles and lutes? Strange lighting fixtures, weird tapestries, and it's just kind of a whole big general mishmash of weird
It looks
stuff.
amazing.
Yeah, it's incredible. And so there's also gardens outside. There's one of those glass-bottomed walkways that's like a dead-end cantilever out over the side of the cliff, so you can go walk out into thin air and look at it. It's huge. It takes, I forget how big they said it is, but it's one of those things that it would take you a whole day to get through the whole collection, gardens and all of that. It just looks amazing. It's somewhere I've always wanted to visit. The first time I heard about it was when I read American Gods, and it's just the weird kind of crap that.
Wisconsin, that can't be too far from here. How far is this?
It's a decent haul. It's past
Let's go.
Chicago, so it's several
Yeah.
hours, but it's drivable.
It's definitely drivable from here.
We'll ride that high-speed ferry out of Muskegon and get there in no time.
Yes. Good point.
But yeah, so that's the location that's on my bucket list that didn't fit in with the main discussion. So I want to share that with you. And I'm going to say stick around, because after the commercial break, we're taking a look at all the theme park adventures we'd like to include in our travel bucket lists. When it comes to planning your next adventure, knowledge and preparation are always key. That's why a call to your Key to the World Travel Vacation Planner should always be at the top of your to-do list when you feel the urge to venture forth and explore the world. Key to the World Travel is an authorized Disney vacation planner, specializing in travel to Disney theme parks around the world, as well as Disney Cruise Line, Aulani, and Adventures by Disney. With over 450 travel advisors who share a deep love for Disney destinations, Key to the World Travel has a wealth of knowledge and passion to help you experience all the magic with none of the work. Wherever your wanderlust is driving you, Key to the World Travel is a full-service travel agency with the expertise to get you where you want to go. So whether you're headed to Universal Studios, Hawaii, Europe, or somewhere a little farther off the beaten track, your first step should always be to visit www.keytotheworldtravel.com for a no-obligation quote. Their expert travel planners are standing by to help you with every detail of your perfect vacation. That's www.keytotheworldtravel.com or at Key to the World Travel on Facebook. Key to the World Travel, your key to a magical vacation. The start of the year is a great time to sit down, look at the goals you've set for yourself, take stock of what you've accomplished, and maybe come up with some slightly more aspirational items to add. More aspirational items to put in your bucket list. This week, we're filling up our lists with the theme park destinations and adventures that would make for the trip of a lifetime.
Dan, you nailed it. You son of a bitch, you did it.
Go.
You magnificent son of a bitch.
Look at that. I can read at a
Third grade level.
Yeah,
Easily.
At best. At best. We talked about last year around this time. We discussed kind of our general travel bucket lists and places that we would love to go that are kind of trip of a lifetime type thing.
Did we?
Yes, we did.
We sure did.
To the lovely people from Outer Vibe, and then we talked about bucket list stuff. So I was wondering what's all on your theme park bucket lists.
Well,
I'd like to
mine.
see the Country Bear Jamboree.
Ooh, I hear it's good.
But like as originally written, with all the other.
With all the racism intact.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah.
I was actually watching Hee Haw earlier today while I was working.
That is
Oh,
funny.
wow. That is, wow.
It's amazing. Like,
Here's Roy Clark.
it's amazing how many. Like, you basically watch that show and you can pick out the exact characters they ripped off for each bear. It's
Mhm.
it's
Yep.
pretty wonderful. Yeah. But my first on my actual list is, and I tried to do this last time I was supposed to go to the parks, and then I haven't been able to make it to the parks past couple of trips for various reasons, is to do the La Cava tequila tasting experience.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah. It's $150 a person, and you get a few hours and a lot of tequila and mezcal and You get chips and salsa along with it, but they say to make sure that you eat ahead of time because they're
It's
basically
a lot
gonna
of
get you.
tequila and not
They're
a
going to
lot
get
of
you
food.
seriously drunk. And I
Yeah.
guess you get like a whole little section of La Cava that they section off for you in your group. So that's on my list.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to do that one too. There's a more formal, longer version of that they do only during, I think, Food and Wine over across the street.
Mhm.
But this version looks like even more tequila and less foods.
Yeah.
But it's
Yes.
it's $50 cheaper. I think it's $200 or $225 for the other one. This one looks great. I was in there. I forget when that was, but I saw the remnants of a group leaving that had just done that, and they were clearing it up, and there was a lot of empty little tequila shot glasses on their thing. It looks pretty great.
I'll never forget a company conference a few years ago when we were running all around EPCOT,
I knew this was going to
taking
come up.
part in these adventures around the world, sweating our balls off because it was like 110 degrees. And Heather and we stopped into that restaurant for lunch, and Heather and Jeff were behind the partition.
It wasn't
And
just
others.
us. There were
And
others.
Yeah,
But
taking
yes.
part in that lunch taste. That
Yeah,
tasting
while
lunch
everybody
that
was
she
doing
That
a
did happen.
sweaty scavenger hunt through the parks for team building,
It was amazing.
we were having a 4-course tequila dinner.
Yeah, there's Heather and Jeff. Clearly not part of the team.
Mm,
Yeah, we built the team. We need you guys to experience the team
That's
now.
right. That's right.
Yeah, it looked like a good experience.
It
though,
was
so I'm sure Jess,
fantastic.
someday you'll
The
you'll
food
enjoy it
was
just as much.
amazing. Yeah, the
Yeah, you'd
tequila
like it,
was
Dan.
great. One of the things on my list is not available right now, but I really hope that it comes back because I want to go scuba diving in the seas in Epcot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But hey, you have to be scuba certified, Heather.
Well, since you mention it,
oh,
I am actually scuba certified.
oh, are you a diver?
Yeah, I am a diver now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It looks
Did you
really
buy
neat.
a bunch of Salt Life T-shirts?
No, that will not be happening. No,
Did anybody in your house buy a bunch of salt?
no one. No,
I'm shocked.
nope, not happening. I won't allow it.
Does anybody in your house own a diver's knife?
No.
What
That's
about a diving watch?
yes.
Okay.
There.
Or
Now you're getting
spear gun?
closer. Yes.
Is it in a very small wrist size?
It looks so cool, though. I've seen people doing it, and I would. It's one of the things I like about it is it's a safe environment. You can go and walk through and see the aquariums and what's in the tank. You're not going to swim past a cave and have some crazy, scary sea creature whose home you just invaded.
Yeah, it looks super cool. I've seen
Come at
people
you.
doing it, and I would like to just wave at the children from inside the tank.
Yes, I mean, and they have a lot of
Mickey
cool
do it.
stuff in there. Yeah.
Can you
I wanna
snorkel
scuba
over
dive
to look
with
into the
Mickey.
restaurant?
Yeah.
I don't think. Oh, you can?
I
I
thought
don't,
you.
I don't
Yeah,
know
I've
if that
been in
whole thing
the.
connects there.
Maybe that's a separate thing because I have been in the restaurant and I witnessed a diver propose to somebody who was sitting in the restaurant, like she was there waiting for him,
Oh,
thinking
I
that
had
he
my
was going to
engagement
show up.
dinner, and I had a diver come down with a sign.
Yes.
It wasn't for the.
So maybe
you know,
that was a
question,
separate thing
but-
that they
Yeah.
arranged.
It used to
But
be free too.
What, they had a happy anniversary thing or something?
Yeah, they said
Or
my
Willie
sign
Mary?
said she said yes.
Oh, that's cool.
And
I
it
didn't
used
know
to be
they did
free.
that.
They did a whole dinner at Coral Reef where you could get personalized menus. They would
Oh, that's
basically
cool.
help you do the whole thing, and then they stopped. It was a long time ago. So.
yeah, this one is the diving is currently on hold because of COVID. But it's not even that expensive. It's about $170 when it was still running, and it's a 3-hour experience. You only spend about an hour of that diving, but the rest of the time you're getting to see behind the scenes. You get to go up to the top of those tanks and see how they take care of the animals and how it all runs. And
Yeah,
it looks
I think that's
really
super cool.
neat. There are also some tours that you can take that don't involve the diving where you can see behind backstage. Not right now.
Have
but
they started back any tours other than the private VIP tours?
not that I've seen.
I don't think so. No.
Like the behind the scenes and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't
Behind
think
the
so.
scenes is fantastic.
That's what I've always wanted to
Backstage magic.
do. I don't know if
yeah.
it's bucket list level, but I've always wanted to do seats.
Yeah. Speaking of tours, on my list, I have what is it called? The Wild Africa Trek.
Yes.
Did you do this and didn't your family do this?
Yes,
Heather?
it's so great.
At the Animal Kingdom. You get to go out onto these savanna areas and do a little
Mm-hmm.
backstage kind of stuff.
Yeah, you're in your own Jeep out in the savannas and you do some walking. It starts with you gearing up in harnesses and stuff and doing kind of a ropes course thing over the safari.
The picture I'm looking at on the description is of them going over the alligator
Yes.
things, which would freak me out a little bit. You're clearly cabled in there and it's all safe, but that's a rickety looking bridge.
And the funny thing about that rickety looking bridge is once you're up on it, you can see that underneath it, there are actually additional structures so that if that rickety looking bridge actually,
It's
the
made to
wooden
look
plank,
rickety.
if that wooden plank actually did break in half, you're just falling into a net.
And you're cabled around your crotch.
Yes.
Just hanging by your wiener over the...
There's a whole harness and they give
It's like
you...
a Saturday at the Williams house.
Yeah, that's right. Over the alligator pit.
They give you something to hold your sunglasses on so that if you're looking down, if your sunglasses fell off, they wouldn't fall. Your phone has a little thing that everything that they give you attaches to that vest that you see her wearing. And you get a water bottle that says Wild Africa Trek on it. And you get to keep all that stuff.
Yeah, it includes lunch, looks like. You stop somewhere, I'm sure, scenic and have a lovely lunch.
Yeah. Have you ever noticed when you're on the safari, there's all sort of
like
off
a
in
little
the
pavilion
distance.
thing over there.
That's where you eat.
Yeah, I really would love to do this. And they do another one that's just walking with giants. It's the elephant tour, but I actually don't hear great things about that one. I was excited for that, but people say it just smells like elephant shit.
Yeah, and I've heard that one depends on how well the elephants cooperate. If none of them are over near where you're standing, you're just watching them from far away.
Yeah, it's not really interacting the way you want it to be.
Our family is just super animal lovers, so we would love to do this one.
It's really good. One of my favorite parts of it is the first thing you do is you walk to the hippo enclosure, and you get pretty close to the hippos. You're up on a hill above them.
Do they give you a poncho?
No. But they bring a bucket full of the hippos love watermelon. And they bring a bucket and they like bang on the bucket and the hippos know that means, hey, we're going to get some watermelon. And they all come through the water. And when we did this, there was a baby. It was very cute.
A baby hippo or
A baby
just
hippo.
had a baby?
No, it was
Just
a
a baby
baby
wandering
hippo.
around.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Then the
Somebody
hippo
had a
ate it.
baby in a backpack on the Wild Africa Trek.
The hippo thought it was a watermelon.
Yeah. That would not have been
The
good.
Wild Africa Trek is only $199. It includes food and yeah, you have to be 18 and up or accompanied by a parent or guardian.
Yes. And the lunch is really good too. It's not just
Yeah, it looks like a
theme
nice
park
spread.
food.
I was gonna say this one where they give you like a fancy
Chicken curry
lunch
salad.
and tiffins.
A
Hummus
tiffin,
and
yes,
mini
that's
pitas
what
and-
where I learned what a tiffin is.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's like a lunch pail kind of thing.
Yeah, it's really delicious
I
stuff
assumed
too.
that was somebody's last name.
Me too.
Probably both.
Imagine
That
your
makes this-
Jeffrey Tiffin.
8 tiffins at it again. Who else
While
included?
we're on the subject of tours, the one I really want to do is the 50th anniversary VIP tour. Have you guys heard anything about what you get to do on this thing?
Yeah, you
Is that the
told
one
us
where you
all
get
last
to
week
do
on the
whatever you want?
podcast.
Not exactly. No.
Well, within reason.
It's
basically.
it's a planned thing specifically. That the one you're thinking of it's got the word dreams in it. I can't remember
Yeah.
what it is.
Name.
Yeah. That one's actually more expensive than this one. I think it's twice the price. It's like something like $12,000. And you just you just tell them what you want to do and within
Just
reason they'll
bespoke.
do it. It is. This
Well,
one
this
is
is
designed to specifically for the 50th anniversary. And so you start off, they pick you up wherever, like a VIP tour, they pick you up wherever you want to start. If you're staying on site or off site, they come and pick you up in a Mercedes Sprinter. So it's not even the normal
Not
van.
the church van
It's
that
a
the other
fancy
ones
van.
use.
Yeah. And you start at California Grill because they take you up there, and this one has 2 guides, and they gather some historians along the way, along your stops. But you start up there for a champagne toast, and they show you, because from up there you can see all of Walt Disney World, and they give you a little bit of some history and how it was conceived and all of that stuff, and tell you where you're going to go. And then the next thing you do is you get in a private pontoon, and they take you out on Bay Lake, and you get to see they talk about Discovery Island and what that used to be. Some other stuff.
Before we closed it.
Yeah. And they say that there are surprises at every stop that they don't tell you about in advance because they don't want to give it away. And then you pull up to the Magic Kingdom in your private pontoon, and you go walking down Main Street. They do some history, but then you get to see the Cinderella Castle Suite, which is not usually a part of VIP tours.
Or any other.
And before you leave the Cinderella Castle Suite, they will have taken your order for lunch. So then they take you down to a private section of Be Our Guest, and you have lunch at Be Our Guest. And it includes some stuff that you can't get just eating there for lunch. So it's
like
some
good
things.
Food?
Yes. So you can order whatever you want, as much as you want, off of this special menu that they have for you. And here's where it starts to get into stuff that really made me want to do it. You go ride Haunted Mansion, which is cool. Yeah, cool. But when you get off the ride, they take you downstairs, and they take you to see the Pepper's Ghost effect.
That's literally on my list, is just to see the backstage of Haunted Mansion. So if that's part of that, I will do that.
It is. And the thing that they told us about this is, one of the things that they want people to know is that part of the Haunted Mansion is really not handicapped accessible. You have to go down this crazy, like, spooky, tight,
because it's
steep
backstage.
Staircase. And they keep you back far enough from the railing because the ride continues to go. So you're seeing it from the ride functioning from that perspective. It's kind of like if you, I think we've talked about on the Adventures by Disney Southern California trip, they take you down behind the screen in Soarin'. So it's like that. You're seeing it, but you get to see backstage at Haunted Mansion. I've always wanted to do that.
Yeah,
that right there, when they said that, all right, I'm sold.
I'll put that on my list then. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Then they do some more things. You do some more rides. You get to go down into the utilidors, which is cool.
That's on my list.
That was way underwhelming.
Experience.
It is a little underwhelming, but it's kind of neat still to
cool.
say that you did it. Then they take you to Epcot via the monorail. But the cool part is you have your own car. And then as they're approaching, they slow the monorail down to a crawl so that you're moving that whole section where you're moving through Epcot. You're going really slow so that they can talk to you about Epcot. And then they take you to Space 220 for some food and some drinks.
Oh, that's cool.
Which it's pretty hard to get a reservation there. So that's pretty cool. And then you do some more stuff at Epcot. You end at Ratatouille. And then they take you on the Skyliner. And I don't really want to give it away. There's something very cool that they give to you as a souvenir when you're riding the Skyliner. And it's
one of those bags from under the seat.
Yeah.
From the poo corner.
Yeah.
It's something that's not sold in any shop and that you can't get anywhere except on this tour. So
A Mickey plush?
Yeah, I
Nailed
can't
it.
get that anywhere.
yeah.
I'm looking everywhere.
But
It's
it
the
looks
start.
really cool, and I am determined. It's only this year. It will end at the end of this year. They won't be doing it anymore.
And how much is that one? It's like for a group of 8 people, right?
It's
Up to 8.
$6,500. Yeah, and it's not 10 people like the normal VIP tour. I believe it's 6.
6 or 8 people, yeah.
So
and it's available. You can find that on the website and do it now.
Yes, you can call there's information about it on the website, and you can call the VIP tour hotline. And
is it commissionable?
It is.
Then they should call their Key to the World travel agent.
Yes, any travel advisor can book that for you, which is excellent.
This year.
Yeah. You just need to get a group of.
If you do, we're paying you pennies.
Yeah, get a group of 6 friends together and split it. I'm looking for 5 other people who would like to come along with me when I do this.
Yeah, that sounds incredible.
I'm in.
Anybody in?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. That reminded me of another behind-the-scenes attraction that I think would be really cool to see was the American Adventure at EPCOT. The mechanism that they use to change the stage.
Jeff has seen that.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds pretty amazing to watch.
That was probably my favorite part of the Backstage Magic tour they used to do. It seems like they had stopped that one even before they discontinued other tours. So I don't know if that will.
I know. I'm sad. That one is on my bucket list.
It was epic. But yeah, that mechanism is incredible.
It sounds like it from everybody that's seen it running. It's the most incredible thing I've ever seen. So I'd love to see that. Something I had on my list was, and I don't know how many of these locations still exist even to visit, but I think it'd be really cool to try to visit as many of the parks that Walt visited or used for inspiration when planning Disneyland. I'd love to go.
Cool. Cool. That's a great idea.
Knott's Berry Farm. He stole a lot of ideas from there as far as park operations and stuff. There's some other amusement parks around the LA area that he visited a lot, like Tivoli Gardens in Denmark. There's some other European places. You know, see the Alweg monorail factory in Germany, which I believe is
Disney needs to be making a nice big purchase from there.
Yeah, I was going to say, is that still a working monorail factory?
Yes, I think, yes, it is. Oh, no, it was a transportation company in Germany.
Oh.
So it looks like it may not be anymore. Cologne, Germany. But yeah, so just to get to visit kind of those spaces that inspired the theme parks as we know and love them would be pretty amazing. Tivoli Gardens looks absolutely gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
Incredible. So that'd be pretty amazing.
That's a cool thing. We did the Griffith Park observatory, not the observatory, but the park where the carousel was that inspired Walt to come up with something that parents and children can do together while I smoke a pickled cigarette.
One of my things is actually very new to my theme park bucket list, but has shot to the top rather quickly. And that is to yell something at Bob Chapek in the park during an event.
A lot of people have had that opportunity.
Did you see the signs at the race this past week?
Those are great.
You run Disney better than Bob Chapek. That was my favorite.
Yeah, that was great. Like, I have a feeling we're not going to see him making appearances very much in the park in his tenure, as he has dipped out of a few events already since his initial taking over.
Yeah, he's not much of a fan of having things
well, he's already complained about his image, so. But it would be fun to just...
Maybe he needs a better PR team.
He has complained about his image.
Yeah, he's complained about his image as a bean counter in business. Yeah,
that's...
Maybe stop being that, then, Bob. Have you considered that?
Well, he's had many opportunities that he has missed to at least seem like a man of the people during Disneyland's grand reopening after 18 months of being closed. Josh Tomorrow, whether he's really a great guy or not, but Josh Tomorrow is out there shaking everybody's hands and all that, and Bob Chapek's back there and will not engage.
That's true.
I mean, he's earning that reputation. And same with when the 50th anniversary happened at Disney World.
Yep.
That's where everybody was yelling at him, though.
Yeah, I think that would probably be the last time we'll see him do something.
And then
like
he
that.
suddenly didn't show up for D23.
Scheduling conflicts,
Yeah.
He was scheduled to not be
I
yelled
scheduled
at.
a day of not being yelled at.
It's a mental health day.
All
I
booked
think
up
he probably takes a worse rap than he deserves, but
Oh, yeah, probably
Whatever.
so, but it is kind of fun, too. He's an easy target with that big old bald head, so.
mm-hmm.
But a real one on my list, all right, I'll counter that, is to finish staying at every Walt Disney World hotel. And I've only got a handful left, so.
What's
I got
left on your list?
Yacht, Beach, Animal Kingdom Lodge, and Old Key West, and if I must, the Grand Floridian. That will be the last
I would
one.
stay at all of those. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I
I
want to
would
stay
stay
at all of them, but the Grand Flo is just, it's not my style in the
Grand
slightest.
Floridian, the style of it, I always resisted it till we had to stay there for an event that we were co-hosting, and I wound up really liking it.
Yeah.
The rooms are in bad need of a redo, but
So bad.
The amenities there are great. I like so many of the bars and restaurants and things there.
It's the same reason I don't
Enchanted
really like
Rose.
Portofino Bay at Universal. I feel like they were designed by grandmothers. So
Yeah, I feel that. I've never stayed there.
The only ones left on my list are the All Stars, and I think those are just going to stay that way.
Yeah,
See, that's where I started. I moved up from
Yeah.
there. So.
I've never stayed at an All-Star. I've stayed at Pop Century a ton
Yeah,
of
Pop
times.
Century
I
is
love
great.
Pop.
And
It's
Art of
one my
Animation.
favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I have never stayed at French Quarter
That's one of my
or
favorites.
Caribbean Beach. I think that's it.
Caribbean Beach is
no,
okay.
Old Key West.
Both of
French
those.
Quarter is
Yeah.
my favorite moderate because it's small, quiet. It's a really well done.
Oh, I
hotel.
guess
stayed at
Old
Riverside.
Key West. I've been there for breakfast. But do you know, now that I think about it, I've not stayed there.
Yeah, the only time I ever have set foot there was the one time we went to Olivia's.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, hey, this is cute. I should stay over here.
It is.
I've stayed at like 4.
And
Yeah,
are
I've
they all
stayed in
named
the-
All-Star?
No, I've never stayed in All-Star. I did as a child get to stay in the Disney Treehouse Villas though.
Oh, those are cool.
Ooh.
They're a little remote and they're a little dated, but they're very cool.
Yeah, they're cool. I think that would be a great for a large family, like multi-generational thing or something like that.
Well, they need a little refurb on the decor, but
Are they?
So
are those
much of
still
it's
available?
kind of built in.
they are.
It's hard to redo.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were cast member housing.
Well, they were at one point a long time ago, but now they're part of DVC. The Treehouse Villas are part of the Saratoga Springs collection. And they recently redid the Saratoga Springs villas and they look really pretty. So maybe
Mhm.
they'll do the tree houses too. All Star Sports is getting a refurb. So yeah, Grand Floridian's got to be next, right? Fingers
I hope.
crossed. If they
The
want to
rooms
keep
at Grand Flo are really rough for what
if
they
they
charge
want to
for those
keep
things.
charging those prices for that resort, they need to refresh the rooms. Like gut them.
So speaking of doing all of the things that there are, I have been to Disney World, Disneyland, and Disneyland Paris, but I want to make one mega trip that's all of the Asian parks in one fell
agree.
swoop. And I want to do them all in 2.5 days,
Oh, that's a lot.
including travel time.
You probably could do that with Hong Kong and Shanghai,
Yeah. Yeah, but I wouldn't want
but
to.
it's going to take a
those
little longer
parks
to
look
get over
amazing.
to Tokyo.
Shanghai Disney, just for its technology and scope and size, just looks so amazing.
Yeah, I
And
really
they got
want to ride
children
their
pooping in
pirates.
bushes.
And just Pirates of the Caribbean alone makes me want to go there. But really, I want to see Tokyo Disney Sea. Look
Yeah.
Yes.
so cool. It's just so different than every other Disney park. And I love the idea of it. It's got the 20,000 Leagues ride. It's got that journey to the center of the earth. It just looks so cool. I could walk around there for days and days, I think.
Yeah,
That one
Tokyo is on my
Definitely.
list for
It's
sure.
on my list. Disney Sea.
And what is it? Hong Kong Disneyland just redid their castle, but
Mhm.
otherwise it's pretty much a carbon copy of Disneyland, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
But I would love the idea of just being there and everything looks. I like when you go, like when I first went to Disneyland as an adult after getting really used to Magic Kingdom. It's like Earth 2
Mm-hmm.
Magic Kingdom. Everything's just slightly off. And I like
Yeah.
that sort of, you round a corner, that's not supposed to be there. So I would love that part of it. And then just hearing everything being in Japanese or whatever.
Yeah.
Be cool at Tokyo.
It's something on my list you guys mentioned briefly. I really want to get to do that SoCal just by Disney.
Mm-hmm.
It's never coming back.
So great. I think it will. I think they've got to. I think they've got to
I
really
almost cried for a
reevaluate
second
it.
there.
Yeah, they do still have some Imagineers working in Glendale.
forgot
so
about that.
yeah,
And
that's
not
the
very
part.
many-
That's the tricky part. Is that was a big draw for that, getting to go to
Yeah,
Mickey's of
listen.
Glendale and
If you think about it, they're probably going to keep all of the stuff that we saw, like the
Yeah,
model room. That
that's
stuff's all
true.
going to stay out there. So
It's- half of it's a
personnel, you're
working
not getting to
museum.
meet anybody as much. But we didn't really meet that many people when we did it.
no,
So
that's true.
it was only a few Imagineers. So
Yeah, they could operate that building like the backstage tour at MGM.
Mhm.
Be like an archive. There would be
Yeah.
fewer, probably curtained off
Well,
areas
yeah,
you couldn't go
because-
into.
Is the archive going to move? The archive is probably going to stay out there, right?
Yeah, I can't imagine.
yeah, they
Well,
haven't
it's
said
at
the
anything about
studio.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. The studio
The
isn't
studio's
moving.
staying.
Yeah.
And that's why I think a good bit of,
Mhm.
I think they'll move all the I think they'll move a lot of the non-creative.
No,
kind of
they've already
things.
started
Not-
moving the creatives. It's
All of that's going
it's a
to.
big swath of people
Oof.
that are in
Well-
charge of creating things for the parks.
Yeah.
the
Mhm.
ones that actually decided they wanted to go to Florida.
Yeah, the ones that are left that didn't just
Peace
leave.
out.
Yeah.
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 But there's so much else on that tour that you it will still make it a good tour. The going to Jim Henson Studios.
Mhm.
That was
I was
really
sad
cool.
that wasn't part of the shortened one that I did. Yeah, I really wanted to do that.
Yeah,
part.
that was neat. Jeff got to be a puppeteer. It was pretty cool.
That is hard to do.
It's not as easy as it looks, is it?
Yeah. You're doing this or whatever with your hand for the mouth, but you have to look on these monitors and go the reverse because the way they're filming it, you have to go, everything's backwards. So you're looking at a monitor of yourself to get your thing, but you can't, you're
Yeah,
used
and
to
they
looking
had
at
you-
yourself in a mirror instead of in a monitor. Yeah, that part was fun.
Yeah. That
Yeah,
was,
there's
that
so
was
much
really
on
neat.
that tour. I hope they'll bring that back. And you go in the Chinese theater and
Mhm.
all that stuff is super cool.
Well, the only thing I had left really on my list that wasn't really covered by everything else was, and I guess it could be covered by a backstage tour, but before I die, I would like to see Gonzo fry a chicken in the laundry room. Just with my own eyes, not on video.
That was on
Just-
the full day backstage magic tour that I did.
Nice.
You did go to the laundry, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I would like to see that.
There was no chicken loving going on though.
But there was a stain.
Yeah.
I tell you,
You can find
that
the
backstage magic tour, if they do bring that back, it was the greatest thing. So we saw backstage of many of the attractions and stuff, but we spent a lot of time in the utilidors, and they showed how the trash, what is it,
Yeah.
pneumatic tubes, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
they just have these huge things they load into the tube and close it like a thing at a bank teller.
And then it
Yeah.
ends up back behind Splash.
And then they went and took us later in the tour we went back behind Splash and saw where they store all the parade stuff and
That's cool.
all of that. And
I got to do that once when we got stuck on Splash Mountain and they had to
Yeah.
evacuate us
well,
to
they
the
took
back.
us out the back there, and you see where it all just those tubes come out there, and then it's all sorted and scattered, and some stuff is composted and
That's
some is
cool.
recycled. It's really cool.
I'd like to see in the Disney Floral and in the places where they're working on all of the greenery and the stuff for the parks. That seems
Mhm.
cool. And
Yeah, that
didn't you
tree
get to go to
library.
where they stored all of the Christmas decorations?
That was an accident. That's not
Oh.
normally. That is not normally on the tour. But this was the weirdest thing. The tour's like 9+ hours long, including a lunch. But we went to Central Shops. So we were watching that day. What they were building in there was new Splash Mountain cars.
Oh, cool.
So they had the fiberglass shell, and they were installing the seats and putting the, I guess, vinyl seat covers and all that, upholstering them and painting them. So we saw the paint shop, how it comes in and puts the base coat, and then the people are hand airbrushing the log stuff on each thing and pressing trash cans. So we saw that the bus broke down. So we all get on the bus.
Love it.
We can't go anywhere. So it's going to be a while. So across from Central Shops where they do that is holiday storage. And it's just this massive warehouse.
So cool.
Of it being Disney, it's the most efficiently run warehouse ever. So if you're there looking for a specific thing, everything's, of course, extremely archived. So they were like
the
name
warehouse
a thing.
at
So
the
people
end
would
of
say
Indiana
like, okay, a
Jones.
Main Street wreath. And then they type that into a thing and it tells them exactly where to go. And like in the parking decks at Disney Springs, a light comes on at the end of the aisle that thing is on. So you know right where to go. And then there's a light under, so it's like slots, like you're searching for lumber at Home Depot. Everything is a aisle and a slot number.
That's neat. That's
for
really
every
neat.
single
Wow.
Christmas decoration.
That's crazy. And you also got to see them stitching a costume for Belle, wasn't that
And
it?
I think none of that is there anymore. It was
Oh, bummer.
it was in the backstage area. They did
Hollywood Studios?
Yeah, that was where they made all of the costumes for every Disney thing in the world, including cruise ships and things in Europe and all that. I don't know where they do that now, but there was a woman that was hand beating Swarovski crystals onto Belle's dress for
That's so
some
cool.
parade. And
That used
so
to be part of the original
I was-
backlot.
yeah, I was standing in there next to her watching, and she's like, "You want to hold it? It's really heavy." And I was like, "Yes, I do." And
I would
this
like
dress
to.
weighs 50 pounds, just covered in crystals.
Cool.
Wow.
Well, I hope they bring that back.
when we were backstage of the American Experience that Dan was talking about. They were replacing Mark Twain's head, and I held Mark Twain's head.
That is very cool. That's a lot of stuff that people just don't get to do. I love that.
Yeah, that tour at the time was not, it was like $400 or something.
But totally worth it.
It was 8 hours and included lunch at they take you to either Mama Melrose or we went to Whispering Canyon. It depended on, and that was because the bus broke down. So we had to go somewhere different.
You got a lot of extra cool stuff because of the broken bus. The last thing that I had on my list is something at Disneyland, and it's the 21 Royal experience, which is
That looks
also
boring.
very expensive. It's like it's just a crazy number of course private dinner in the what used to be the Dream Suite,
Yeah.
and they turned it into this, and it's up above Pirates, and it's where Walt was going to have his expanded apartment.
This better apartment
This
after
better one.
over the firehouse.
Yeah. And it's $12,000, I think, to do this. But it includes,
Well, you can have 12 people.
I was going to say,
again, it's $1,000 a person if you have you and 11 friends. Not too shabby.
If 10 other people want to do that, Heather and I will do that.
Yep, that's right. We're getting a group together.
Have you read the description of how they, like you start off at the Grand Californian, and then they escort you into the park and right into the thing, and you start with a toast. It was
And
amazing.
just it looks just gorgeous in there. It's still all decked out. Ugh. And you start with like cocktails and hors d'oeuvres, and
They contact you ahead of time and ask are you more of liquor people or wine people or whatever, and what kind of menu. It's a very bespoke experience.
definitely. And they'll design the menu for you. Your cocktails are served by butlers, and you can go out on the patio and watch everything going on down below at Disneyland, and then
spit on the peons as they pass.
yes,
Pelted
before
with rocks
you
and garbage.
That's right. Before you retire to the dining room to eat on your gold-plated dinnerware, you're like,
I just want the
12-course
penguin
meal.
butlers from Mary Poppins.
Yeah, is that too much to ask?
I'm paying,
Maybe
I'm
they
paying.
could do that.
I mean, I think it might be too much to ask, actually.
Oh,
It's Disney. Make the magic. Come on.
Dick
That's
Van
the
Dyke is
drag.
very old.
He is. This is
But he's
true.
very spry. Come on.
That's true.
The chef works directly with premier suppliers, local and international, to get the very freshest farm-to-table ingredients for your bespoke experience. It says right here on the thing.
I would like to eat a roast pig that dined only on acorns.
You can
from
do
the
that at
months
Yachtsman.
of yes. Was that a Yachtsman
Mhm.
that we had that charcuterie board
It was
that
a
had
description of the charcuterie board and how this pig died alone on this island eating only certain things.
the most pretentious
His
and hysterical
sadness and
thing.
tears made his meat more tender.
Yes.
Like,
He's a
what?
victim of unrequited love. It's just
Yeah,
really
Yes.
it was
helps.
because this stuffed bear friend made him wear a pink sweater all the time.
His meat was salted with his own teeth.
Yes, it was delicious too.
Ooh, despair tastes so good.
It's true. Well, it looks like there's a lot of stuff we still have to do in the theme parks.
Yeah.
We better get on it.
Dan, did you have another?
My last one was, it's not actually a Disney theme park one, but again, it's
Then you're
head
fired.
yeah, I know. Head over to Europe, and they have some crazy theme parks.
They
there.
really do.
Have you ever heard of Efteling?
No,
It's where
Don't
is
talk
it?
to me
I
like
closed
that.
it sounds
Mm.
inappropriate.
No, you have to link.
You know, it's a theme park in the Netherlands.
Oh,
That's like
the
a
Dutch.
fairy tale. It's a fairy tale theme. Yeah, it's not. It's nothing like that other Dutch theme park we talked about, though.
Does it have a Hoonderpruter?
No, it certainly does not. It's a fairy tale theme park, but it's just like these castles, and it kind of puts Disney to shame on the castle and stuff. But they've got some really crazy dark rides there. But there's quite a few theme parks around Europe that are like really heavily themed and just giant, gorgeous
Yeah, that would be a cool
parks.
trip to just put together a whole 2-week or something, jaunt around a bunch of theme parks in Europe.
Just obscure theme parks
There's
in
so
Europe.
much
Yeah, I
regular
like it.
Europe I haven't seen. It feels irresponsible to go over there and just see theme parks. But I'm
Go
down.
to
I
park.
mean, if that's your thing,
Mhm.
it's just and they have just it looks amazing. And there's that one park we talked about once, a park that is like the different lands or different periods of history.
Oh,
around
yeah.
Europe, and you can go to the medieval village and the Roman Colosseum.
Get medieval on your ass.
Those kinds of parks they just look, and I don't know why we don't. I guess just because we only hear. about
well, don't
Disney
forget to
here.
go to Westworld in Japan.
Yeah,
Can you kill a man?
Yeah,
Hey,
why you
it's an
ask?
upcharge.
Oh, you're talking about there.
Or a fee, yes, you can. So yeah, that's the last item I had on my bucket list. Anything else?
I'm
I'm
out.
sure that there's stuff coming down the pike that I'm going to keep adding to my list. They always keep coming up with more stuff that I want to do.
Yeah, they're good at manipulating you into giving
Mhm.
them lots and lots of money.
Someday I'm going to spend the night in the Cinderella Castle suite. I don't know how I'm going to arrange it, but it's going to happen.
Just tell them you're Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was on a short-lived Disney Channel original series back in the
Back in the day, I was
I
one
was
of
on
the
the
original Mouseketeers.
I was on the 18th reiteration of the Mouseketeers. It was you guys don't
Not the
remember
original
it.
ones. The
Joey, Jeff.
one with Brittany and Justin.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That was my
And
jam.
Ryan Gosling
Was he one of the Mouseketeers?
and Christina Aguilera.
Yep.
I mean,
Wow.
what a mega cast.
It
And
really
JC
was.
Chazé
Yeah, that's
from
right.
NSYNC.
Oh,
I feel bad.
man.
It's like all those 5 people who all went on to huge fame and money, and then like
And then the
Carl
redhead.
Johnson.
The redhead named Chase. I remember there was a kid named Chase who had a big red hair and he did nothing.
There was some chick that just died.
Poor guy. Oh,
Oh, well.
way to bring it down, Dan.
She wasn't one of the famous ones, so who cares?
Dan Leonard's a laugh a minute kind of guy.
I think
Wow.
I cut that part out. It really killed the
Taking a
momentum.
bucket
Wow.
list. Jeez.
You really shit the bed on that.
More like kicking the bucket list, am I right?
Oh, Oh,
Too soon.
Because of death.
Too soon.
Yeah. How about that? Well, thanks for hanging out with us again this week. If you're excited to cross some items off your own travel bucket list, Key to the World Travel has 12 theme parks around the world full of expert travel planners, and they're ready to make your vacation dreams a reality. Head to www.keytotheworldtravel.com to get started with a no obligation quote. Don't forget to catch up with our friend, the theme park professor, for all the latest theme park news and tips at www.themeparkprofessor.com. Word of mouth is the best way to help us grow our show. If you have a friend or two who you think would appreciate our special brand of globe-trotting jackassery, tell them what makes our show so great and send them our way. You can find links to subscribe to the show on your favorite apps and all the latest updates at www.goldkeyadventurers.com. While you're at it, haven't mentioned it in a few weeks, but hop on that Apple Podcasts, make sure that you click that subscribe button and leave us a nice rating and review to help other people find our show and let them know why we're so awesome. We can't wait to hang out with you again next week, and we'll see you real soon.
Hi, y'all.
Goodbye, everybody.
You know, it is actually on my bucket list to outlive flows. As God is my witness, I will shuffle off this mortal coil only after that place has been raised.
To ask a question or share your travel story, you can reach us by smoke signal, carrier pigeon, or send an email to goldkeyadventurers@gmail.com. And make sure you follow the Gold Key Adventure Society on Facebook and Instagram. A huge thanks to our sponsor, Key to the World Travel. For all your travel planning needs, visit www.keytotheworldtravel.com for a free quote and help planning the trip of a lifetime. Tell them the Gold Key Adventurers sent you. That's www.keytotheworldtravel.com. Key to the World Travel, your key to a magical vacation. Thanks to Outer Vibe for the use of their song Hoka Hey for the intro and outro of our show. Find them on Facebook at The Outer Vibe or check out www.outervibe.com for tour dates, music, merch, and more. We'll see you next week for another meeting of the Gold Key Adventure Society. And until then, remember, life is short and the world is wide. So go have an adventure.